I'm going to be talking all about the mindset that you need to be in to write a winning ad. I come from a place of kind of, I guess, just, being on both ends of the spectrum. So for my first maybe 10 months, every time I would go into writing an ad, I would sit down and just map out everything. I even drove to Walmart to get a red shirt because I didn't know anything red. I was like, this needs to be perfect. Like my makeup needs to be perfect. I got to straighten my hair. I got to go get some red clothes. I got to make sure I'm outside. Maybe I'll bring my dog. I did all the things that you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? And it was because I was trying to make an ad like I thought it was supposed to be. Because whenever we come into this business, we look up to anybody who's successful right now, right? And we look at them and we're like, okay, they write ads this way and they're successful, so I also need to write ads like they do. But the problem with that mentality is that the people who are successful in the business whenever you step in and you're the new person are people who are no longer the new person. So their story has changed a lot. And their story maybe, isn't the fact that they're still in their 9-to-5. Maybe they left their 9-to-5. Maybe they do get to travel now. And that's their current story. But a lot of people don't think about the story that they had when they first started. So I would say, first things first, clear the slate with whatever you think your ad is supposed to sound like, supposed to look like, supposed to be like based on, the people that you see in this community. Just wipe that clean entirely, because this is your story. Even though there is guidance and there's examples and there's stuff like that, it's your story and it's your ad, and it can't really be the echo of someone else. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the shadow. You want to be you. Mindset wise, to prep yourself, it's going to take a lot of personal development. That doesn't mean hold off and don't do any ads until you know who you are, because that's the cool part about this business, is that's kind of the journey that you're on, is kind of figuring out your story and figuring out your voice. And maybe it's not, authentic just yet, but keep putting out new content, keep putting out ads, keep putting out stuff that you feel is really just true to you and genuine to you from the start. Don't try to mimic anybody else's wording or anything like that. Just make it as authentic as humanly possible. And in terms of whenever it comes down to actually writing the ad, I would 1000% suggest, don't, just sit down and be like, I'm going to film my ad this day. You know what I mean? This is my day that I'm going to film my ad, because I know I can speak for everybody whenever I say that whenever I schedule out days like that, I used to have on my calendar that every Tuesday was my content day. Okay. Some days I'd wake up Tuesday morning and I would be so sharp. I'd be creative. I'd have the best flow. I'd pop out so many different pieces of content. I could film videos all day and not lose steam at all. And some Tuesdays I'd wake up and it would be oh my gosh, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And finally you just get frustrated and you close your laptop and you're like, I can't do this. So I wouldn't say don't schedule it. Don't be like, this is my day off, I'm going to film an ad this day. I know. Maybe you work 40 hours a week and maybe you need to plan around it, but you're going to feel it. You know what I mean? Just kind of get on, try to take advantage of the time off that you do have and the time available that you do have to get on camera. If you're driving home, obviously safely where you're not distracted, but if you're driving home, maybe you want to practice your story. Maybe you just want to press record and have your phone sitting somewhere else and just start talking and practicing your story. And eventually you're just going to get into this flow. You know what I mean? All of a sudden you'll be like, wow, I need to pull over. I need to film an ad right now. You know what I mean? That is going to be the time to film an ad. That's going to be the time to sit down and tell your stories, whenever all of a sudden you just feel that kind of, it flows. It's important not to force it, because a lot of us, especially whenever you're new and you're just going through the training, you don't want to rush yourself. You don't want to speed up that process, because you're putting yourself out there into the universe, into internet land. So if you're putting something out there that you just didn't even put your full self into and put your 100% into, and it's not even true to you, who are you attracting? What kind of people are being attracted to your ads? What kind of people are potentially going to start working with you? If you are attracting anybody, and if you're just, you're just trying to convince people, and that's the mentality that you're coming from whenever you're writing your ad, you're only going to get people that need convinced. And you want people who see who you are and see your direction, see the direction that you're heading in and the goals that you have. And they're like, wow, that's something I want to follow. That's something I can relate to. That's something, that I resonate with, and I want to follow that person and I want to work with that person. What I would say, if I had to break it down into 3 steps, I would say 1, start working on yourself 10 times more than you already are. Start listening to more podcasts, meditating more, reading more, like just figuring out who you are and what you like. And while you're going through that process, share that. You know what I mean? Share it on your page, share it in your content, film videos about it. If that video just, you're on fire and you're feeling just like the flow, make it into an ad. Don't force it. You know what I mean? Don't think about what you should say or what so-and-so said in their ad or what you think someone would like to hear. Say how you feel. Say exactly how you feel.